Magandang araw mga kayapak! Kumusta po kayong lahat? Tayo po ay nasa gitna ng Sea of Galilee or Lake of Kinneret kung saan po ang Christianity ay malaking impact ang lugar na ito kasi most of the ministry of Jesus ay ginawa po dito. At kami po ngayon ay nasa bangka. Kung makikita nyo, kasama natin ang ating mga kayapak nasa likod. Kumakain ng chichirya, nagtatawanan, mayroong nag-i-emote, mayroong lumangoy, may nag-dive at lumangoy. Pwede po yun dito gawin. At nire-recommend po namin ang Kibbutz Dinosaur. Ayun. At tara na! Patuloy natin ang ating biyahe. Pwede pong bilisan kung gusto natin. Pero mabagal lang para manamnam natin ang Lake of Kinneret or Sea of Galilee.
Outside it's cold. That wild wind, old man, winter's on a roll. But if you could come a little closer.
Only what?
Picture.
Picture? You eat. First you eat and then I take picture. I don't want you to be hungry when I take a picture.
Walang tamang pagkain natin.
So you are saying, this is David,
Hi.
our captain of the boat. he is our Peter in the
Peter.
boat. The driver of the boat.
You asked me about the fish, yeah?
Yeah. Many fish.
So there's 23 types of fish in the Sea of Galilee. The most famous of them all is the tilapia Galilea, which we call Amnun Hagalil. Amnun. Amnun. Why Amnun? In Hebrew, Am or Em is mother,
Yeah.
and Nun in Aramaic. You know Aramaic is the old ancient Hebrew. It means fish. So mother of fish, mother fish. And the reason is because it acts like a real mother. It picks up the eggs in its mouth and takes it to the shore and let them out and keeps until they hatch. And she stays around until they grow a little and then she goes. Like a real mother. So this is the famous tilapia. We also have visitors. One is from Japan, which is called the silverfish, silver carp. It's a big carp. It's about this big.
Wow.
It's very big. We also have the mullet, buri in Hebrew. You know buri? Have you seen buri?
yes,
So it's called taim, it's called mullet. And they grow here, but they put them in. They don't grow naturally. We have Damascus Khafaf Israeli. It's called in Hebrew. It's called binit.
Dinis?
Binit, yeah.
Binit?
Binit. I forgot the name in English.
Okay.
Ringing, but it's not there. Anyway, there's different types of binit. We also have carps here. We have a catfish, lots of catfish, lots, because this place is like a haven for catfish. Because Jews don't eat catfish because it has no scales.
Yeah.
I know in Philippines you eat many, yeah?
Yeah.
Can we take catfish here and eat?
Yeah, well, not in a restaurant, but you can catch them by yourself
Yeah.
and cook them at home. A lot of people from the Philippines, from Thailand, they come here and they cast and they catch them and they make even some Russians. They make dry fish from them, you know. Sorry?
Dry fish to you?
Like, maybe less grilled. Catfish is not so good for grill.
Yeah.
I don't eat catfish, but I know it's better for fry. Normally for fry. But if you fry my finger, it will be tasty.
Okay, let's try it.
So anything you fry is tasty.
Yeah, you told us a little while ago about the places we did not record.
We have, so the Sea of Galilee is 2/3 of Jesus' ministry is here in the Sea of Galilee. So 2/3 of the gospel is over here, and there are many famous places here, biblical and present. So present, I would go with the Golan Heights. Of course, there's ancient history in the Golan Heights, like Hippos, like Kursi. Hippos means susita, Kursi. A fish just jumped. See that? That's a mullet. You see it jump? That's a mullet jumping. We have Tapcha over there. We have Mount Beatitudes, Capernaum.
Capernaum is there?
Yep, Capernaum is there. It's a pink building with a white and pink dome.
Yeah.
We have Tzfat, we have Meron, we have Gennesaret over here. We have Arbel and Tiberias, of course, Gilad Mountain, and again back to Susita and Kursi. So the Sea of Galilee is a main source of water today for Israel, but it's used less and less every year. About 20 years ago, we used 70% of the water that Israel would take would come from the Sea of Galilee. Today it's 7%.
Why?
Because we have the desalinization plants on the shore of the Mediterranean that change the salt water, the Mediterranean water, into fresh water. So we use less and less. And what is your name? Mary asked me about the water level here. She said that the water level is much better, and now that we're before winter, it looks very good. She's correct, because we use less and less water from the Sea of Galilee to keep its level and to get more and more water supply for cities and towns around Israel. Also today, Israel is a water nation. Today we can supply water to the whole Middle East. We have so much water. Even the sewage water, when you use the water, wash your hands, or bathroom or toilet, when you use the water, Israel takes the water and we clean 90% of the water. We reuse 90% of the water. Clearing. Not desalinization, but there's a word. Purified. Yeah. Water purified. So we purify the water, but we don't use it for drinking, because psychologically it's not fun to one, so they send it to agriculture. All the water they use today for many, I'd say 50% of the water they use for agriculture comes from reused water. So, of course, with this water, with the 7% here, what they do is they mix the water that they desalinate, because there's not enough minerals in the water. So they mix the water, and thanks to that, the water is mineralized. What else? The Dead Sea. We have the Dead Sea. I heard you say
the connection of Jordan.
So we have the Jordan River from the north. It comes down from Dan and Dan, Banyas, and Chatzbani. 3 rivers or 3 creeks that turn into one river, which is the Jordan River. And the reason it's named Jordan, in Hebrew, Yored means coming down, and Dan is the tribe of Dan, or Tel Dan.
Jordan.
So Yarden, Yored, Midan, coming down from Dan. And
I thought it's from the place Jordan.
From the country Jordan? Country Jordan was born with Israel. 1 year, I think, before they established Israel, 1947. But Jordan used to be Israel, used to be Jordan too. The British split Israel into 2, Transjordan and Palestine, they called it back then. But as in a whole, Israel was Jordan and Palestine together. So when they split it, they split Transjordan, and they established a kingdom there, and Israel as it is today. So the Jordan River comes to the Sea of Galilee, and then the Sea of Galilee is like a natural dam. It's like a natural dam. It's part of the Jordan River. If you think of it, the Jordan River starts in the north and goes down all the way to the Dead Sea.
Yeah.
Allegedly, because it's not so much today, because there is a dam and they stopped it. But the Sea of Galilee is a natural dam of this of the Dead Sea. So the Jordan River comes down to the Sea of Galilee feeds the Dead Sea. But today, the Dead Sea is losing every year almost 1 meter of water from the evaporation, from the usage of the factories over there, of the salt factories, of the mining mineral factories. So we're losing every day 1 meter of the Dead Sea. But today, because they fixed the water problem, I think in the future, less and less water is going to be used by us from the Sea of Galilee, and more water is going to go to the Dead Sea. So less and less, we will lose less water, and then slowly we start to gain back the water we lost.
Why
Dead
are
Sea in
you,
30 years lost 30 meters.
why are you stopping the water to the Dead Sea?
Because if we don't stop the water, the lake will be empty. The dam is to keep the water level.
But the
So
Dead Sea is closed, so the water will not come out.
that's but you need water. I mean, these past, let's say, 40 years, the problem of Israel was, if you go back, let's say even 30 years, not 40 years, we had a certain amount of population. We had maybe 3 million people in Israel, and then we had Aliyah. You know what Aliyah is? Gesundheit. God bless you. We had Aliyah, which means Aliyah means when Jews come to Israel. So we had the Russians, we had the Ethiopian Jewish, we had many Jews come from all the world. So Israel, from 3 million, not just the population that grew over here, also the population that came in, today we're 10 million. From 3 million or 2 million. So think about how much water you need now to feed people. How many roads do you need to drive on? So nothing was enough. Nothing was enough. So they had to redo everything all over, and now today it's much better. Still, we're missing roads, but the difference between 10 years back with roads is earth and sky. Because 10 years ago, there was no roads, only traffic. Now there is some traffic, but many roads.
Some of us were here 10 years ago.
You were here 10 years ago? Oh,
Yeah.
who was here?
Me.
You remember the traffic back then,
Yeah.
10 years ago. And now you see the new roads, the 6th road, the 70
Yeah.
road, 77, everything is bigger, everything is, it's much better. Still, it's not enough, but
It's better.
But it's much better than it used to be. You have more options to run away from the traffic. Do you drive here? You're lucky.
Demi, we are...
So, ang pinakamalapit na
Sister
place
Demi.
na ni Jesus Labia.
If you have questions, you can ask.
he is telling, sabi mo, he is concluding that the fish that Jesus and his disciples are eating is tilapia.
Tilapia, yeah, it is.
It's
We
the
also
oldest.
have sardines here.
Ah,
It's like sardines. It's not sardines. It's similar to sardines.
Lapsa?
Yeah, we eat sardines. No problem.
Isa, porel.
Legal?
Porel is like sardines. Ayaw pala. O, sabi ko,
The Philippines, it's a sardine.
Yeah, we can eat sardines here. No problem. They're legal.
A popular brand.
malapit na sa lungkong, bro. Malapit na sa kalungkong.
Eh, di ba yung mga sardines, dito lang sila nangingitlog?
The sardines here are actually a little bit bigger than the normal size sardines. They're nice.
But you
They're
are
very
also
sweet.
eating it?
Hmm?
You are eating it?
Yeah, sometimes, but you can buy in the supermarket sardines from the Kinneret.
Ah.
It's fresh. It says Kinneret sardines. Look for them. It's very special. It's not too salty like the ones from the ocean.
Your place, the Kibbutz Ginosar, is the place of Gennesaret?
It's part of yes, of course, part of Gennesaret. If you are asking about Jesus, back then there was a story when he comes to Gennesaret, right?
Yeah.
With the disciples, they come with the boat and they go get off Gennesaret, and people come to him and greet him. So Gennesaret back then, if you go by Josephus Flavius, you remember Josephus Flavius? He was the historian of that time. He mentions that the best fruit come from Gennesaret. till today, the best fruit come from Gennesaret. Their land is very flourishing. It's very good for growing.
Yung boat na nakuha po nila na sinasabing boat ni Jesus or Jesus boat. Ito po ay fresh water. Wala po siyang content ng salt. Ayon po sa ating nabasa. At ang kalalim po nito ay 150 meters deep. So medyo malalim at Cynthia, no? Nakakatakot talaga siya. Tapos, 13 kilometers wide. So, medyo ano din. Heart shape po yung ano nito, yung itsura po nito, mula po doon po sa taas. At ang kahaba po nito ay 12 miles sabi dito, or 19 kilometers long, or 715 feet, or 200 meters below sea level. So makasaysayan po yung yung lugar na ito kasi dito po mostly na ito yung pinaka-central na ministry ng Panginoong Jesus. So magmula sa Nazareth, papunta po dito kasi di ba kinast out siya sa Nazareth, tapos pumunta po siya dito, tumira po siya sa Capernaum. Hindi ko tayo pumunta po doon, pero doon po siya nag-start diba, ng kanyang ministry. At 6 na disciples, yung binanggit ko ni Pastora kagabi, yung tinawag po dito sa according to Acts 1:8. So yung around this lake, makikita po natin yung city of Tiberias na sana doon tayo kakain. At ito po ay pinamumunuan sa panahon na yon ni Herod Antipas, or anak ni Herod the King. Siya po yung nag-construct ng city around 2080. Sabi ko dito 2080. At pinangalan po niyang Tiberias kasi ito po ay in honor to the Emperor Caesar Tiberius. So yun po yung kanyang ginawa. Ginawa po niya itong capital of Tiberias, capital of Galilee. Dito po sa Galilee, sabi doon, makikita po doon yung 17 hot springs. Wala pa tayong, isa pa lang yung napuntahan namin. So marami pa, yung pwedeng puntahan. Kaya puntahan po ito ng maraming mga tao sa panahon po ni Jesus. Hindi lamang yun, yung strategic location kasi ng lugar na ito ay, ito po yung pinakadaanan ng sa ancient world, pinakadaanan po ito ng papunta sa Jerusalem, papunta sa Africa, yung gano'n. Basta kung saan nagre-revolve. Kaya ito yung pinaka magandang lugar na kung saan, kung tatanungin natin bakit ito yung pinili ni Jesus to start the ministry. Di ba pwede naman sa ibang lugar. Ito kasi yung pinaka-strategic location na kung saan, pag nag-perform siya ng miracle dito, malapit lang sa Syria, malapit sa Lebanon, di ba? Jerusalem, malapit lang rin. Pag nag-perform siya ng miracle, automatically marami talagang mga tao, 'di ba, yung maaabot, 'di ba, ng kanya pong ministry. So, hindi lang sa Tiberias yung makasaysayan na kwento. Meron din yung Mount Arbel, pupuntahan din po natin mamaya. At ito po yung pinaniniwalaang lugar na kung saan dito po binigay ni Jesus yung Great Commission. Diba, yung Great Commission. Kasi ito yung pinaka-tallest mountain as according to scriptures na kung saan pag nandun po tayo sa taas, na Sister Jane yata and Sister Deme ay nakupunta na doon. Makikita natin yung kabuuan ng lugar po na ito. Diba? Especially sa sa yung dito around the Galilee. So sinasabi ko mga kapatid, kahit basahin po natin ng scripture, 70% of Jesus ministry, in-spend niya dito sa lugar na ito. So tayo po ay buhay na witnesses kung papaano po yung lugar na ito sa kapanahunan po ni Jesus, at maging yung mga pine-perform po niyang miracles ay buhay na buhay po sa atin when we read the scriptures. No, nakikita po natin yung lahat ng ito. So Mount Arbel, yung Magdala,
Ewan ko kung sino na po sa inyo yung nakapunta. Ito po yung hometown ni Mary Magdalene na kung saan kinas out po ni Jesus yung 7 demons, di ba? So, according to the scripture. At nakita din po natin siya sa scripture na isa sa mga pinaka loyal, di ba, na follower, di ba, ng ating pong Panginoon. At nag-appear din si Jesus sa kanya after the resurrection. So makikita talaga natin, di ba, yung kanyang devotion sa Panginoon. Kasi pinili po siya as the first witness, di ba, ng kanya pong resurrection, no? Yung resurrection po ni Jesus. So number 4 na makasaysayan na lugar na ito, itong lugar na kung saan nandito tayo, yung Gennesaret or yung Genosor or yung sinasabing Genesar. At madalas po ito na binabanggit po sa Bible na sabi po dito, ina-identify po siya ng Bible as small port na kung saan dumadaong po yung mga katulad nito. Yung size ng nahukay na na bangka, 'di ba, na sinasabing Jesus boat, ganito po yung laki, 'di ba? So parang tayo po yung mga 12 disciples din. 12 nga tayo, 'di ba? Kasama ng
Wala yung nagbibigay.
Kasama si driver ngayon.
Kasama yung ating so so ganito lang yung parang audience, 'di ba, ng Panginoong Jesus sa kapanahonan po na iyon, no? So yung sinasabi ko po kanina, yung boat na yon 1986 siya na found out, 'di ba? Diyan po sa area po ng Magdala at nandun na siya nakalagay diyan sa lugar po na iyan. So yung Tabga. Ang hirap naman. Ano yan? Ito naman yung pinaniniwala ang finid ni Jesus, yung 5,000 na mga katao, no? So we know the story. Yung Mount of Beatitudes, alam din po natin 'yon. At saka yung yung Sower's Cove na sinasabi, sa baba lang daw po ito ng Mount Arbel. Ito po yung pinaniniwalaan na sa Matthew 13 na preach po yung parables of the kingdom. Hindi pa natin yun napupuntahan. Tapos yung Chorazin, si Pastor yata nakapunta na po doon. Kinurse po ito ni Jesus, di ba? So yung dito sa lugar na ito na kinapupuntahan natin, ano ba yung mga makikita natin dito? Ano ba yung mga biblical stories dito sa lugar na ito? So i-remind ko lang po kayo kasi alam na po natin yon. Kinalma ni Jesus yung sea. Diba, nung nagkaroon po ng bagyo, sinasabi po ni Pastora sa kanya pong preaching. Tapos dito sa lugar na ito, fined ni Jesus yung 5,000, yung 4,000 na mga katao, diba, na miniministeran po niya during his time. Sa eastern naman siya, sa eastern part. Tapos dito din nag-walk si Jesus, diba, kasama ni Peter, pero lumubog po si Peter. Kinast out din po ni Jesus yung legion ng demons dito from a possessed man. Tapos naalala nyo na may 2,000 pig, di ba, na nagkandamatayan, nagkalunod, di ba, sa lugar po na ito. At sinabi ko nga po kanina na majority of the ministry ni Jesus ay dito po niya ginanap, no? At yung miraculous, sabi dito na paghuli ng fish, dito din po yung naganap. 'Di ba, nung nagsibalikan yung mga disciples dito sa lugar na ito pang mangisda, kasi mga mangingisda po sila. Tapos kasi ang command ni Jesus sa kanila, magkita-kita tayo doon sa mountain. Ayaw na nilang pumunta doon, bumalik po sila dito sa sa pangingisda. Tapos wala silang nakuhang huli. 'Di ba? Tapos sabi ni Jesus sa kanila, i-cast niyo yung net sa kabilang side. Yun, at napakarami po nilang huli. Dito po yun sa lugar na ito.
Akala ko paday. Talong pala.
Wala.
Outside it's cold. That wild wind, old man, winter's on a roll. But if you can
Ano ang experience niyo dito?
The best. Kakaiba kasi ito maliit.
Oo, maliit lang na
Hindi
boat.
siya
First time
unlike sa
niyo?
mga, hindi po.
Hindi sa maliit na boat.
Oo. Usually sa malaki.
Sa susunod, magdala ng pangligo, ikaw,
Kakaiba.
kakaiba?
Kakaiba.
Yun.
Tingnan mo yung sukmay, ng sarap ng
Hangin.
hangin.
Ito, ano pong masasabi ninyo? First time niyo po ba?
First time ko pong mag-posting at kumbaga, thankful ako kasi dati-dati sa Bible ko lang nababasa lahat ng ito. But now, salamat sa Lord kasi it came talaga into reality. Parang bumabalik sa akin yung lahat ng mga story about kung ano yung mga nagawa ni Jesus Christ sa mga panahon niya. So, sa Lord po.
Okay. So, ate, natakot ka kanina? Di ba ang ganda?
Na-bless ako dahil nga ito, isa sa biblical, itong dagat na to kung saan naganap yung ni Jesus Christ. So, blessed.
Amen. Kaya na masasabi mo?
Ang masasabi ko, ako yung busog na busog.
Ay, ganon? Wala kang natutunan?
Busog na ako. Busog na busog ako.
Bro, yan. Siya yung kauna-unahang nag-dive dito sa Sea of Galilee.
Sa kalagitnaan ng Sebel.
Oo. Ikaw na, Em.
Salamat sa inyo lahat. Nawala na po ang aking pagdadala mo nga. Good kayo ng yaton.
Ano ang masasabi niyo, Madam?
Ano po, tuloy daw yung biyahe. Hindi tayo titigil hanggat hindi natin napupuntahan yung lahat ng bawat sulok ng Israel. So kung tayo man ay uuwi na sa Pilipinas, marami tayong napuntahan.
It's a beautiful